Halal, also spelled halal or halal, is any object or action which is permissible to use or engage in, according to Islamic law. The term covers and designates not only food and drink but also all matters of daily life. It is one of 5 Ahkam, fard, mustahabb, halal, makruh, haram, that define the morality of human action in Islam. Mubah is also used to mean permissible or allowed in Islam. Generally in Islam, every object and action is considered permissible unless there is a prohibition of it in the Islamic scriptures. Food, halal, is often used in reference to foods and drinks, i.e., foods that are permissible for Muslims to eat or drink under Islamic Sharia. The criteria specify both what foods are allowed and how the food must be prepared. The foods addressed to mostly types of meat and animal tissue. Quranic verses regarding halal foods include 2 to 173, 5 to 5, and 6 to 118-119, 121. The most common example of non-halal food is pork. While pork is the only meat that cannot be consumed by Muslims, other foods not in a state of purity are also considered haram. The criteria for non-pork items include their source, the cause of the animal's death, and how it was processed. It also depends on the Muslim's madhab. Muslims must also ensure that all foods, as well as non-food items like cosmetics and pharmaceuticals, are halal. Frequently, these products contain animal byproducts or other ingredients that are not permissible for Muslims to eat or use on the bodies. Other foods that are not considered halal for Muslims to consume include blood and intoxicants such as alcoholic beverages. Dhabihah method of slaughter. The food must come from a supplier that uses halal practices. Dhabihah is the prescribed method of slaughter for all meat sources, excluding fish and other sea life, per Islamic law. This method of slaughtering animals consists of using a well-sharpened knife to make a swift, deep incision that cuts the front of the throat, the carotid artery, trachea, and jugular veins. The head of an animal that is slaughtered using halal methods is aligned with the Qibla. In addition to the direction, permitted animals should be slaughtered upon utterance of the Islamic prayer, Bismillah, in the name of God. The slaughter must be performed by a Muslim. Blood must be drained from the veins. Carrion cannot be eaten. Additionally, an animal that has been strangled, beaten, killed by a fall, gored, savaged by a beast of prey, or sacrificed on a stone altar cannot be eaten. The animal may be stunned prior to having its throat cut. The UK Food Standards Agency figures from 2011 suggest that 84% of cattle, 81% of sheep and 88% of chickens slaughtered for halal meat were stunned before they died. Supermarkets selling halal products also report that all animals are stunned before they are slaughtered. Tesco, for example, says the only difference between the halal meat it sells and other meat is that it was blessed as it was killed. The British Veterinary Association, along with citizens who have assembled a petition with 100,000 signatures, have raised concerns regarding a proposed halal abattoir in Wales, in which animals are not to be stunned prior to killing. Concern about slaughtering without prior stunning has resulted in the religious slaughter of animals being banned in Denmark, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden and Switzerland. Exception if no halal is available. If there is no halal food available and a Muslim is forced by necessity, then a Muslim is allowed to eat non-halal food in order to prevent death due to starvation. Halal food certification. Globally, halal food certification has been criticized by anti-halal lobby groups and individuals using social media. The critics argue that the practice results in added costs, a requirement to officially certify intrinsically halal foods. leads to consumers subsidizing a particular religious belief. Australian Federation of Islamic Councils spokesman Keizar Trad told a journalist in July 2014 that this was an attempt to exploit anti-Muslim sentiments. Meat offered by Christians and Jews in Sunni Islam. Meat slaughtered by Christians and Jews is halal, unless explicitly prohibited, like pork. In Surah 5-5 of the Quran, it is written, "The food of the people of the book is lawful for you." Whether this verse refers to any food of the people of the book is disputed. Thus, the lawful food prescribed for the people of the book is lawful for the Muslims, subject to the express restrictions set up in v. 3 above and reiterated in 6-145 and 16-115, particularly about mentioning Allah's name at the time of slaughter. The word taram is the verbal noun of the root tarama, meaning food, including crops, fruits, meat, vegetables, etc. Since the permitted and prohibited food are connected to the manner that an animal's meat is prepared, evidently the word taram refers to animals slaughtered by Jews or Christians, provided that during the time of slaughter Allah's name is invoked. The requirement to invoke Allah's name is a must. In other words, the word taram refers to dabiha meat, i.e., the meat prepared after the slaughter of an animal by cutting the throat, and during slaughter Allah's name is invoked. According to Islamic scholar Abu Bakr Muhammad ibn al-Arabi, because Christians are scripturists, God grants them a greater degree of respect than others who revere multiple divine beings. That respect is expressed through the permission of Christian meat, and therefore proclaimed. I have been asked regarding the Christian who twists the neck of a chicken and then cooks it. May it be eaten with him, or may one take it from him for food. I say, it may be eaten, because this is his food and the food of his learned and pious authorities, even though this is not proper slaughter according to us. Nevertheless, God, exalted be He, permitted the food without restriction. Everything which they regard as permitted in the religion is permitted for us according to our religion, except for what God, praised be He, has shown to be the lies. Kosher meats, which are consumed by Jews, are permitted to be eaten by Sunni Muslims. This is due to the similarity between both methods of slaughter and the similar principles of kosher meat which are still observed by the observant Jews today. Animals. Generally, killing animals in Islam is only permissible for two main reasons: to be eaten and to eliminate a danger, e.g., a rabid dog.